welcome. I forgot to go on Instagram Live today, but that's okay. I can add it in a moment. Yes. They should be here watching us on YouTube anyway, right?
It's true. I can't talk to anyone on Instagram because we're not on Instagram. What's up, everybody on YouTube? Thanks for joining us. This is episode 74. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it's definitely episode 3 of series 2 of season 2.
It was never labeled like that.
But we made that up before we went on Christmas holiday, as you say.
We did. We kind of made that up on here, though, and didn't communicate that to anybody else. So it's fine. We're here for episodes. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to everybody.
Welcome to your weekly toy therapy session where we're going to get it all out. We're going to get it laid bare. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to get crazy.
Whoa. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome.
Are we live on Instagram?
Oh, yes. Hello on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, come on to YouTube and watch us on YouTube. Hello.
Stop fucking around. Oh, you're not allowed to curse in the first 10 seconds
of
the video or you get demonetized, but we're not monetized anywhere yet.
So first, let's talk about some toys that we have coming up, some things that we're working on, and then we'll catch up with these beautiful faces that are here with us, and then we will introduce our main guest for tonight. Right? How's that?
So,
does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. You can go first. You seem very excited.
My first announcement in the toy world is that I got a shipping notice.
Oh, you did?
Today.
I don't even know this.
That Ron English Light Cult Crypto Bulb boxes are going to ship. They're ready and they're coming.
So that means this can ship out to people.
Yes, it's going to ship.
That's what we've been waiting for.
It's going to ship on time.
Yay, that's good. Starting 2023 off right.
Yeah.
So these will be coming out to you. The boxes are on their way.
They're on their way.
Thank you to everybody.
No, leave it there. I like it there.
Okay, sorry.
It's part of the like.
I know that they nice wooden.
Yeah, the wooden ones that open up and then you can display them in there.
Yes.
That's for our high-end expensive resin pieces.
Yeah.
They're expensive boxes, so they have to fall into that price point.
Yeah.
So
we're happy about that.
And then these are shipped. If you haven't received a shipping notice, then you should contact us because they should all be out there by now. If you want to grab one, they're available on our website. You can grab one and be shipped to you straight away. The Ron English Grimbot. Sculpted by CZ. Collaborations.
With Ron English.
Yeah. So that one.
The indubitable,
and then
the infamous, the amazing Ron English.
The awesome silver one we'll be releasing in the next couple of weeks. We offered it first to the people that pre-ordered this one as a thank you. So some people have it. You may have seen it out there in the world, but it wasn't an official release yet. It was just a thank you to the people that pre-ordered the yellow. So this week's Thursday. So probably next week we'll drop this one to people too. This one was way more limited. So
there's not that many left. There's not that many left.
Why don't you talk about that pink thing? Because that's really exciting.
You can't even see. What's funny is you can't see it on the screen until I go like this. I snuck it a little bit.
Hey, people on Instagram, come over to YouTube because your comments would be welcome over there. You can have a discussion with us. You can jump in and chat. Instagram's not that good. You can't see our friends on the screen.
Look how I hide it.
Okay, sorry. Keep going. I see people are chatting. Peter Van.
Are they just looking at you? Are they?
Yeah, all they can see
stare
is
at us.
This. And then they comment, and they're like, that Ron and Susie is fire, which is what Peter Van Flores just said. People are sending hearts and love.
Come on YouTube.
But you guys can't see it. You can't see what they're saying. Yeah. Oftentimes they're like, where are the other people they're talking to? Which is why we put a sign up now.
Yeah.
So there are people on YouTube chatting. You should come and chat with them. It's a really nice community. Come and talk to us.
It's your community.
Yeah, come on. We had a great conversation last week with Kyle and Mamba and everybody about what this whole thing
I really want to do just a hangout night. We'll figure that out. So I snuck this a little bit last week. Again, super excited about this. This is dropping with the Glow show.
Because we have official information now. So this is the pink Geode. Yes, it glows in the dark. Fog Dweller. It will be available at the Glow show opening is it the 11th? February 11th, I think. It's next second Saturday.
Yes.
So this will be a run available then.
What's so sick about this piece is that it's really mixed parts. So people who are in the Safubi, who come from Planet Safubi, this is like just dope. So I love it. It's sick. And it's so nice that we're able to work with the factory to have them pull different colored vinyls.
And it's more limited than the last one.
It's very limited.
Oh,
There's not that many pieces at all.
This
It's
one's
gonna go
header
fast.
carded, not in a box. It's going
It's
to
gonna
be
go
very.
fast. It's gonna
Pink
go
wave in
fast.
hand. Hello, plastic and pizza.
What's up,
Plastic and pizza. Plastic pizza.
Yes.
No, it could be plastic and pizza. Welcome.
Two
You have
important
chosen-
things in life.
Yes. We are excited to have you back at 5 Points this year.
And
Oh, let's give a real sneak peek. So this is something that we've been working on for a while now with Chris RWK. And yay, Peter Van Flores
What's up,
came
Peter?
over. Hey. And so this is going to be dropping first quarter. They should be ready March. So keeping fingers crossed. Let's bring it into this one. I got a whole other screen that I can use here. Here you go. Here it is. So yeah, so this is exciting. We'll have these available. There'll be different colors. Woo! More information to follow.
Awesome. He looks cool.
Woo!
and so this is injection molded.
This is injection molded ABS. So it has this. I'm gonna put that back up. So it has the skinny little legs and arms, just like his drawings, and fingers.
Nice.
yeah, so good.
Yeah,
You
we
got
worked
behind the
so hard making it exact to Chris's artwork.
Yep. So that's coming up. We'll have more information on that soon. So there's 2 sneak peeks, 2 releases that are out there.
We're going to do another sneak later in the show with our main guest.
Yeah.
But before we have Don join us, what's going on, CZ?
Have you awakened from your slumber? Now it's February.
I have, yeah. And then I thought to myself, I'll get a flu jab and get my eyes tested. So I've been a bit of a mess this week, really. But working hard for the show on the 11th. So yeah,
That's good.
I've got some little toy soldiers on the way, so they'll be rad. Like,
Whoa,
That's
glow
awesome.
in the dark toy soldiers.
yeah, and they've got nice little. They just got really menacing white eyes. Like, they haven't got pupils this time. They're just like, and they glow. Like, they look rad. But I'm into them.
That's exciting. Let me just answer this question from the chat. Any updates on the Mar2 Ena Cambot? They are in production with some other 5 ounces. So when we get those, it'll be exciting because there's some really cool ones in that series of 5 ounces. But we will have an update for Kickstarter soon, along with the 5 ounce, the MechBot, and the 40 ounces, because we just got an update today because the factories all came back.
Yes, very exciting.
So
let's wrap that show.
yes, I saw the boxes and they're really cool.
Yes.
I haven't showed them to CZ yet, but he'll see them first. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
So that's the update.
Yes.
We should have like boo 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 music, like boo boo. We get an update, like Clutter update. Get on that. Someone should sing a song.
So
So
anything else from UC's?
I'm hoping to be working with their youth charity up in Portland. They've got a huge concrete wall up there, so I'm hoping to get involved with that. I think I'm painting it, and I want to get some like young artists involved, local artists.
Cool.
And,
that's rad.
yeah, it's just a really ugly sort of area that we can hopefully make a little bit brighter, you know. So yeah, just started some conversation with that. So that's happening at the moment. So that's fun.
Nice.
Cool, man.
That's awesome.
That's rad.
Great.
That's rad. I want to go back to England someday.
I know we can travel now again, so we
Yeah,
should.
we should.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Now, next up on the hot seat, let's put him in the hot seat. It's the Mighty
shit.
America.
What up?
There he is.
Sweatpant update.
Yo, sweatpants every day. Fucking staying in sweatpants is my new fucking look. So,
Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
it's pretty good. But yo, I don't know. I haven't really left much, but I went on a fucking epic Minecraft quest the other day, which was great. I fucking have been playing Minecraft with my girlfriend's kid, and I just fucking pieced out of the little like confines of the safety, and I went on the most epic fucking adventure. I discovered all this fucking shit. I brought back flowers from around the world, and now I'm gonna create a hanging gardens. It's fucking amazing.
Wow. I have
think
no
Alex has
idea what
fallen
the
into
fuck
a
you're talking
hole.
about, but that's awesome.
Oh.
I'm going to put you in touch with my 5-year-old.
We're talking
Nice.
about computer games. You know what we did? We downloaded that simulator on the Switch so we could play 007. And it was shit.
It was why was it?
It was shit. Just
I bet
fucking
you
shit.
can't control it, can you?
No,
No,
really hard.
No, and It just looks shit. Like it always looks shit. But I thought it was going to be like, a new release, an updated 007 for all the kids that play it.
It was really hard to control, and then
I was
our kids, we were like annoyed, so we just started letting our kids play it. And the next thing I know, like the 8-year-old and the 6-year-old are like killing each other, and it was like I'm like, oh, this is not like the vibe in our household. Like we're not letting them play killing games, but they're like yelling and like killing. I took it away and turned it off. And then they
controls are better on Xbox.
They played Mario 96, which was fucking weird.
Oh, yeah.
That was a weird.
I just felt like I was scammed because I had to sign up for this whole year thing.
Yeah, so you got like the main like year pack, right?
Yeah.
And they make you do it.
And that's not what I wanted. I just went and updated 007. I was really excited. I didn't actually read the article about what they were doing, so I misled myself.
So what's happened, right? What's happened? They've released it. They've released it on Switch and they've released it on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
But on Switch, the controls are shit, but you can play online. On Xbox, the controls are brilliant because it's twin stick, but you can't play online. So they've brought out two. They should have just morphed them together, like, and charge you a tenner, like, done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should have just redone the game. In my opinion, I would love an updated 007.
Yeah,
where is that?
It's still in the works. There's still a like a re-up in the works. So.
All right, well, let's hope that happens.
I'm trying to play the fucking Mario 1896 before he left Italy. If I can still in the old world, like I would do the fucking shit. You know? Going through fucking Sicily and shit, just fucking capping people.
I feel like you're a racist.
That wasn't racist.
But hey, what are you gonna do, right?
To the Italians.
Yeah.
No way.
I hear it's one of the last ethnicities that you can still be racist about. Publicly. It's still funny.
Because of Mario?
Because of Mario. Well, I hate. But we're not comedians here. We're toy people. So we had an amazing shipment come in this week.
This is what Alex and I have been doing.
Yes.
Really.
And so in honor of this unbelievable toy showing up, see you later, Steve. In honor of this fucking amazing toy showing up, we were like, holy shit, we should have the man, Don Geode, come on and kick it with us. And we could do a live unboxing and shoot the shit. And I know that Don's got a ton like to show us because he's just the best.
Should we play a song before he comes on?
Oh, which song do we play?
Well, you were like, well, I want to play this song, so we should play a song.
So okay, wait, can I pick a different song, Alex?
You can do whatever you want.
Can we?
I actually just fucking backed out the thing. I had everything saved.
Wait, okay, everyone, hold on. We're gonna play a song.
All right.
Can I pick it? Can you play Rock and Roll?
Oh man, okay. Totally. I had everything fucking lined up and ready to go. And then the name of the song is Rock and Roll.
Rock and
so
Roll.
I type it in the search function here, which Rock and Roll in the search function is gonna come up with 1,000 entries.
You want me to tell you which album it's on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell me the album.
So today we are bringing together our dream of toy producers, which is to make toys in the music space, bringing together both of our passions, which is music and art, right?
Yes.
And we've worked on a few music-based toy products, and this is one that was particularly dear to our hearts and excited about. He's finding out what album the song is that he wants to play.
Okay, it's on Frankenstein Love.
Frankenstein Love. All right, let me just pull up some fucking.
So if you don't know Daniel Johnston, you don't know his work, you don't know his music or his art, you need to look it up. We're going to show you, we're going to walk you through it, we're going to talk about it. But afterwards, you have to immerse yourself.
Did you find it, Alex?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
God.
That's cool. But let's bring him on. And then
bring him on. Let's do it.
Yeah, totally. We'll fucking play this shit.
Okay.
Done!
Oh my god!
Hello! Yay!
Is it time?
Yes.
Time.
We totally
It's
failed
time.
at playing a song for you to come on with. But
Oh, well,
that's
you should have asked me because anyway, that's good. That's good. I'm here. Oh my God, I'm here. And I don't even know where to start. And I'm about ready to just.
So first, let's just talk about,
Our
us working
relationship.
together and our, how long have we been working together now?
Oh man, it feels like, I mean, we're like COVID brothers too, man, because that's right when we met, right before shit hit the fan.
Was it right?
2 years, I think. 2 years.
Well, we have to give a big shout out to the man that made this so possible.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but we started working together right before the pandemic, I think.
Yes, right before. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's been
It was
3
right
years.
before.
So it's
I
3
thought
years.
It was right during the pandemic.
Oh my God, you're right. It is 3 years. It's just I feel like there's that void in there because we were waiting and waiting and waiting.
I feel like we were connected right before the pandemic, but then I remember talking to you on my porch all the time. So it was definitely during the pandemic, like we were locked down
Porch time.
when we were like just hashing out reality. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
let's not even get started. We don't even want to talk about that thing, but
Yeah, we have
I
to
think
play.
we were about ready to mention Ron.
Yes.
Ron
there you go.
introduced, well, what's crazy about Ron English is he was actually the one that I owe all of my connections with Daniel, really, because I mean, he connected me with you guys, absolutely, and I'm thrilled with that. But he actually, what's funny, real quick, if you guys got a minute, I got to tell you.
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, okay.
We have
Yeah,
a
you
few
tell us the
minutes. Come on.
story.
So the Ron English story is like super quick, but like so I was walking. I had a publishing company in New York City called Soft Skull Press, and it was a bunch of us all together, a bunch of ragtag anarchists, independent publishers, whatever. There's movies about us and stuff if you want to Google it. But so here I am, one of the shareholders, and I work for Soft Skull Press. And I go down to our little basement, which is like super famous in the Lower East Side. And I go down and I'm hanging out with my buddy, Colin Moynihan, who writes for the New York Times. Still does, great writer, one of my besties, stay in touch with him. And he says, oh man, one of your heroes is going to be at CBGB's gallery. And I'm like, whatever, Colin, he's talking smack. I'm like, what are you, one of my heroes? He goes, yeah, man, Daniel Johnston is going to be at CBGB's gallery. And I swear to God, I about shit I thought he was fucking with me. And sure enough, I look in it was in the Village Voice, and I saw it. It was Jonathan Levine. I don't know if amazing curator.
We know Jonathan.
Oh my
very
God!
well.
Yes,
Talk about another fucking amazing dude. I've stayed.
Wait, so what year?
So that would have been shit. Either 97 or 98, maybe 98. Ron would know. But here's the thing. I was
there that night.
Well, here's the deal. I was poorer than dirt. I was trying to find my way. I was investing in Soft Skull, and I was eating top ramen and Kraft macaroni and cheese. And I swear, as God is my witness, and I'm a religious man, I pulled out my last $500 in the bank, and I put it in my and I went to that gallery, and I knocked on that gallery 2 hours before it was open, 3 hours. And Ron was in there, and I'll never forget, he was hanging these amazing paintings. And I've got a few of them here, actually. I've got a collection of Ron stuff. And I'm sitting here, and I'm going, oh my God, Daniel Johnston. But then all of a sudden, I see these amazing they're like, I want to say they're like 12 by 12s. I've got them up here on my wall. And I was like, but I was still pissing my pants from meeting one of my heroes, I knew he was an artist, but I knew him more as a musician. I got introduced to his music in like, oh my God, maybe 94, 95. But anyway, fast forward. So I am there and I meet Ron, and he knows I'm about ready to shit myself. He's probably used to the fans. He had been hanging with Dan there for a while. And he said, yeah, you want to meet him? And I'm like, no, I don't want to meet him. And I said, but I want to buy a drawing. And sure enough, Jonathan Levine let me buy, like, back then, dude, the drawings were like $50 a piece, right? And I bought 10 drawings for $50 a piece. And I blew my wad. I had to explain it to my girlfriend. She thought I was nuts. But here's the cool thing about that meeting. Not only did I realize how amazing Ron English was as a painter, but I got to see Daniel. I did come back and I watched him, but I never got in. And Ron and I decided right then and there, he's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I've got this publishing company with my friends, and I'm not the founder, but I'm definitely one of the team. And he said, and he goes, oh, you ought to do a book about Daniel. And I'm like, holy cow, there's got to be a million books about Daniel. And he's like, no, I don't think there is. And he goes, my wife can write it. So Tarsi Yazdani, literally, it was born, that book, the original Hi, How Are You, which is right here, was born that day. Of course, it took a lot of hard work and all that, but Ron gave us an image of Daniel for the original cover. And man, I could go on and on about that, but really that's where it started for me.
That's amazing. I didn't realize how closely our lives have actually been intertwined, because I probably was there later that night. Like, I was in that same scene, friends with Jonathan, going to CBGB's gallery.
Oh man, they were rocking it.
But again, but all roads lead back to Ron. Thank you,
Oh
Ron.
yeah,
You're the
absolutely.
godfather
I mean,
of
and Tarsa,
what we
man,
do.
Tarsa.
And Tarsa's the queen.
She got it warmed up, man. I like to think I've taken it to another level. I'm definitely working on part 2. I've got a whole. So I stepped away in 2006 because I basically I got married and we had a baby, and I told Dan, I was like, Dan, this is my last chance at having a family, and I married my childhood sweetheart, and I gave all of my life up with Daniel and Ron and all those badass New Yorkers. I kind of gave it all up and moved to Colorado about 20 years ago, last month. And, but I stayed in touch. Ron and I and Dan are in a couple of bands together, and we definitely stayed in touch. Dan visited me, I visited him. Ron and I've been staying in touch the best that we can. He's like super famous now, so he's kind of all over the place. But anyway, long story short, I never thought I'd be back in Dan land, but I went to the funeral, and they asked me to be a pallbearer. And I went down there, and Dick had a complete breakdown with me and said, what am I going to do? How am I, I'm not going to mention what was going on but he was so overwhelmed with Daniel passing, because it was unexpected, but it wasn't completely out of the realm, because we'd been trying to plan a bunch of trips to get some writing done. There was a script writer down there, and for some weird reason, he worked me into a scene. And so I was supposed to go down there and hang with Dan a couple of times. And every time I got ready to get on the plane or buy my ticket, they were like, no, he had another episode. And unfortunately, the last couple of years was a little rough on Danny. And I call him Danny respectfully because I'm working with all of his old buddies in West Virginia right now. Actually, this ham-handed segue, a lot of his buddies who helped put out Artistic Vice, we're working together to kind of put out a double album. And now I'm in charge of the catalog. But my point is, I got pulled back in about 3 years ago now, because Dick needed help. And I had kind of found my way in Colorado. I've got some successful businesses. I was able to step away from them. And I kind of had some time on my hands, and I was kind of looking for just some things to do. And I fell in love with Daniel's music and art all over again as a fan. And now I'm a big part of the trust. I like to think of myself as one of Dick's right-hand men. I have full access to the archive now. And what I'd like to say about that is that, having a super fan in that archive is super important, but also he was my friend. Yeah. Daniel was,
Yeah.
Daniel was like one of my best friends. We only spent like probably a good 5-6 years together, but man, it was like touring. It was on the road. And when you tour with people, any of those musicians out there know, you get super tight, super fast, and you have to make it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't get me started because I just want to cry, but we just had some moments together on the road that I just honor and I cherish. And it's like, now, what can you do when your friends die? Like a lot of my friends have died. Daniel's not my only friend that had died. You honor them, and you do things that you knew they would love. And I'm going to tell you guys, Daniel freaking loved his toys. He was the biggest toy collector I ever met. When I show you one of the short films we're working on, we have filmed every single toy in his house, and it's in the tens of thousands.
Wow.
So I want to say thank you to Ron, not only for introducing us, but to be able to make these toys out of Daniel's characters. He loved the original toy, right? He loved the original toy. He knew it could be better. He knew there was another level to all of this. And I know that
we talk. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
There's there's like kind of two things around this that we really want to talk about. One, we'd love to talk about the toy that we just finally released. Thank you for getting emotional.
You guys, I just kind of went off there, man.
That's okay.
No, I mean,
all good.
Look, whoa, what'd you just break, Miranda?
I know, I'm opening beers.
Miranda popped the beer. Woo!
Time.
This podcast is real. Like, the thing about coming into our world is that we're genuine, like we're friends and we make toys. That's been kind of our slogan for a couple of years now, right? Like, we make toys with our friends. I had that in a dream. I was like, I woke up one day and I was like, we make toys with our friends.
Yeah. And
that's really like what gets us up every day.
Well, I appreciate you being my friend because, and I appreciate Ron. I consider Ron a very, very good friend.
Yes.
For introducing us, because he just knew that it needed somebody special like you, like a family-run business. And the more I learn about Clutter, man, you guys are just blowing my mind all the time. It's like you have no idea. I was a toy guy too, but I kind of got distracted in Colorado. You're bringing me back to Toyland, and I wanted to real quick, if I could, I just wanted to, so if there's anybody wants to know that I'm not a true. Okay, so I saved up for this when
I have that.
Yeah, we have
this is original, brother.
Yeah,
mine is
so do
original.
we,
I have it from when I was a
I'm
child.
older than you. I don't know about it.
You're only like 5 years older than me.
Well, I saved up for this son of a gun, and it's filled to the gill with all of the characters, and I put them all in plastic because I wanted to eat the shit out of them.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, Daniel saw this and he wanted them, and I was like, "No, Dan, I'm not giving you my Star Wars collection." But it's not a huge collection. But you know what?
one collection.
The Holy Grail. So I'm going to ask you right now in front of, I don't even know if anybody's in on this right now. I don't know if we have anybody listening, but I want to know, Daniel was a huge Star Wars fan, right?
Yeah.
Could we honor Dan someday, and can we make something like this to put maybe some of his toys?
That's the Castle Grayskull conversation. Remember this? We keep having.
Yeah, but I don't remember if Dan liked. I don't even know if he liked it. I knew he loved Star Wars.
It's one of the hardest things to pull off, I think, in the toy world is to make a castle or to make like a collectible carrying thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
all right.
No, but hey, I'm not trying to shit on your dreams,
It's what Daniel would want. We gotta do.
Right.
We gotta remember.
We're doing it. We're doing it. You heard it here live first. We're making a Daniel Johnston carrying case.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, the thing about Daniel that people don't like. I get this all the time. Like I work with thousands of people all over the world. I work in every country. I'm telling you right now, I work with like ambassadors. I call them ambassadors in every country. Right now, I'm working with some people in Australia. I'm working with some people in Tel Aviv. And I'm telling you, the love for Daniel, if you knew Daniel, you would know that Toys for Daniel is probably one of the best. Putting the music out is super important. Getting the art out there is great. The T-shirts and the jackets and all the endorsements and stuff. You know, he just thought that stuff was he would giggle and laugh. It's kind of stuff that he's like, really? Like manhole covers? They have manhole covers in Austin with the frog on it. He'd be like, why would they put my frog on a sewer cover? You know, whatever. But what I'm getting at is when it comes to toys, he loved his toys. So thank you guys.
So
Well,
let's unbox.
open this one.
Let's unbox one for the first time.
Yeah, this is.
Hey, I don't even have one.
I know, we just shipped some to you. The box is huge. Like when you're designing this kind of stuff, you design it in a computer, and the size doesn't really register until you actually get it, even when you're printing them out.
Yeah, it looks great. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So here it is. It's covered in art. It has
By Daniel.
Yeah, by Daniel. It's got the comic on the back that we took from the cassette, right? All over it. Shout out to Brookeroni.
I don't know whose idea was it to put the Twig of Hope, but man, you guys, when you said, "Hey, let's put the Twig of Hope," I think it was you, Josh.
Yeah.
I was like, this dude gets it. Like
The best.
that Twig of
open it
Hope
up.
has a whole story. I mean, that Twig of Hope was such an important part of Daniel's mythology.
That's hi. How are you?
Do we have anybody like jumping in?
Yes.
So here
So-
we go. Fresh out of its clamshell. Pop.
We lost Don.
I got to remember that this is for toy people, not Dan. This is,
Here we go. No, both. We're going to really go into Dan, his work, and what he was like. So here it is, straight out the box. So excited. It has the Twig of Hope.
And a word and the thought bubble.
Oh,
So
man.
one of the things that we did when we redesigned Jeremiah from the original one, we started from scratch, but you did send me one of the original ones, and we looked at it and we really talked about how we could improve the original sculpt.
You kept it really true to Dan's.
Yeah, we went back to the drawing, and then we also talked about how to make the frog more sensual. I really feel like the original one's a little
Dan
funky.
Oh my God, Dan loved girls with shapes.
So
He loved shapes.
that was one of my thoughts when we were designing this was like, how can we keep the frog sexy? And then the other thing we talked about was how to make the base.
Well, if you study Daniel's drawings, he just
even more give the base even more of a narrative. So it was exciting to do that.
Could I see the back? I haven't seen. Well, the you put the stamp on the back. Yeah, I think that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that, and his iconic signature. Oh man, you guys crushed it. You guys crushed it.
It's really iconic, and it's really resonating with everybody out there, and we're so happy. Thank you for
very
everybody.
proud.
Well, and and just to be, I never got a chance to meet this guy. He was a school teacher, and he was the one that did the original. And I just want to say too, you guys is great, and I feel like it takes it to another level. But now these are going to be
right. It's awesome.
Yeah, I just want to say, and I'm sure the technology. You guys are so tuned in with the technology. This guy, I wish I knew his name. I'll make that a trivia tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a trivia tonight, everybody, and I've got so many amazing to give away.
So that's one of the things that we're doing tonight is Don's going to throw out trivia, and people who answer the questions correctly on the Instagram post from tonight's podcast will be entering to win stuff that Don's giving away.
All right, now listen, I want to make sure that everybody knows that I have a lot of things to give away, and I know it's a little more work on you guys, but one of my first projects with the Johnstons was I worked with Marjorie Johnston, Daniel's sister, and I made a book of their work together. And I just want to say right now,
that's fun. Yeah.
It's not iconic necessarily to the first 30, 40 years of his stuff, but it's very, very, very special because Daniel was drawing up until the end, and his family was so supportive of his art that she helped set him up so that he could still, even with the Parkinson's, even with some of the delusions, even some of the issues he was having when his meds had to be adjusted. She did this amazing project where she would give him the cutouts and then he would doodle around them and then she would tie it in with a song. So even though it's not a traditional Daniel Johnston sort of original book, because I've done a few books for him, it's a special book and I want to share it tonight. So you want to start with this question, and if anybody can give me the name of this, and then you guys decide how you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's an example. So the guy who put this out, I didn't get a chance to meet him. He had a little company he created. He was a school teacher. I want to say he was in Jersey or something. He hand carved the clay. I've seen pictures of the original clay. If anybody can name the name of this fella, you'd obviously have to be on the inside track of things. I would love to give you a book, or you guys figure out how to give a book.
So if you know the name of the sculptor of the original frog from years ago,
throw it in the chat.
I'm not going to tell you the name of the company.
Or comment it.
Yeah. At Arms was the production company.
Yes.
Not the production company, because that you could Google that and find it too.
The name of the
So
sculptor.
if you know the name of the sculptor, you can write it on the Instagram post from tonight's episode, or you can throw it in the chat.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a huge shout out to him once I get all the info, and once I'll make sure that he gets his props.
So let me ask you.
Get one of the new ones.
Let me ask you kind of the question that's been burning for us to talk to you about for a while now.
Should we back up a bit and talk about Daniel's work?
Can we just? Do you want to make some rules about when this ends? Because this stuff we're like is like forever now. So
that's true.
I mean,
we'll let it run till Monday. Right? So on Monday we'll draw whoever puts the first answer correctly. Or
and what would that date be? What's the date?
Monday we'll do first. What's second day? Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. On the 6th. February 6th.
So just for everybody that's tuning in, I'm gonna ask the question, then you guys are gonna field the questions, and then you're gonna randomly pick the answers. Once I'll tell you what the right answer is. And I have this guy's name. I'm so nervous and excited. He's kind of low on the totem pole, unfortunately for me right now.
Sorry.
But I know his name. I'll make sure I get it. And then you guys will pick, and then you'll give me their name and I'll send it to them from Colorado. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Right on.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So you want to back up and talk about Jeremiah?
I want to talk a little bit about who Daniel Johnston was for people that aren't familiar, because our audience are also toy collectors and may have come into this not knowing anything about it. And I think that what's so important to me is that like he was such an originator and such like an indie mover, and no matter what, worked to get his music or art out there.
If I could jump off there, that is thank you for saying that, because I want to make something really, really clear about Daniel Johnston.
Yeah.
And I say this as his friend, his caretaker, on the road caretaker, his tour manager. I've helped with some business dealings. I'm involved in a lot right now. And I'm going to tell you right now from the bottom of my heart, I knew that man like a book, and the Daniel Johnston book. And he was one of the greatest business people I've ever met. Not in the traditional sense, not in buying stock, not in he wasn't a capitalist. He was just, this dude was a huckster, and he was a hustler, and he was before I even knew what side hustling was, Daniel turned me on to more side hustles. And I don't mean this as a negative.
Yeah.
He and I would go on the road. I am not joking. Anybody who ever gives you crap about, making money off that, Daniel taught all of us how to do all this, because he started with the cassettes. Okay? He started with these cassettes.
The cassettes are what I find so inspiring. He was so, he just wanted to get it
don't even get me
right? And there was no way to reproduce it like now. It was not like you can just go make a copy.
Absolutely. And that's what's so amazing about what he did, because sometimes he knew he'd have to give one away. If it was Lewis Black of the Austin Chronicle, guess what? He was the ultimate, he'd have his marketing hat on, or publicist. He'd be his own best publicist. He'd say, oh, here, I'll give you my tape. If it was somebody if it was somebody buying music at a music store, hey, I'll sell you my tape for a couple of dollars. Daniel knew how to read a room, and he knew how to read potential fans, he had super fans. The thing about Daniel that is so interesting, that I love studying this stuff, is he was famous long before he was famous. And I'll tell you why. Because his friends made him feel famous. His early group of friends in the 70s, I want to say 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, especially, before he went to Austin. People don't know this. Everybody thinks that Austin has Daniel. Daniel did some amazing things in Austin, had some terrible things happen to him in Austin. But before he went, his friends encouraged his songwriting. And I'm working on a top secret project, if it makes sense to talk about it later. But we found an album that Daniel wrote in high school. And he didn't write it for a pretty girl. He wrote it because his buddies were writing lyrics because they loved his piano playing so much. Daniel was a phenomenal, from a very young age. His brother taught him how to play piano. And he had a knack for piano like most fans don't even realize. Well, actually, I would say a lot of fans do realize what a great piano player he was. But my point is, he was made famous by his friends, and even some of the members of his family got it early. It took a while for the family to come around because they didn't really understand. He was kind of at this, he was at this level of creation, and he was working with his mental illness, and he was creating characters left and right. Oh my God, I'm going to create Jeremiah to help me do this. I'm going to create Joe Boxer, if he's having problems with evil or whatever. My point is, he was famous long before the fame that we know him as now. And I owe it to about 5 of his friends who to this day still love him. They know him as Danny. They don't know him as Daniel or Dan. They know him as Danny. And talking to them, man, is like the greatest thrill of my life, because they're reminding me that he was in high school. He was a marketer in high school. He was running around with his dead dog's eyeball, and he was handing out dead dog's eyeball drawings, and he was putting them on signs, and he putting them on the back of stop signs, and he was carving them into wood. He was carving them under pianos. I have discovered that Daniel's first business was the dead dog's eyeball.
That's awesome.
And he didn't start making real money until later. But don't kid yourself. Anybody who thinks Daniel wasn't the world's greatest entrepreneur, they call him the father of DIY music, because he was doing that. So anyway, sorry to go off, but I just want to know.
But he would record every one of those cassettes and just from scratch, right?
Well, no, that's a misnomer. Right. Only if he didn't have his dub machine. Yeah, no, there
are people out there who have original recorded.
Oh God, yeah. He I can tell you right now, I work with one of Brian Katzel. It has the largest collection of Daniel Johnston original cassettes.
Wow.
I just unearthed 5 in the last 3 weeks. Sometimes they show up on eBay, whatever. I have one right now that I actually bought from a famous photographer in Austin, who just needed a few bucks, and I was working with him anyway, and he's like, hey, you know anybody that wants to buy a Daniel Johnston cassette? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, an original, like the one that, you know, he signed himself and he whatever. He might have dubbed it, but he would draw on them and write on them. That's what makes them special too. So yeah, you're right. But he didn't do that for everybody because he would have gone crazy. He learned how to dub tapes. Like that whole scene in The Devil and Daniel Johnston where Jeff Tartikoff is running around and he's making all those cassettes. Guess who taught him how to do that? I swear to God, as God is my witness, Daniel taught Jeff Tartikoff half of what Jeff did some cool stuff, man. He really did. But Daniel, don't kid yourself. Daniel was pulling those strings, man. He was the puppeteer all along. Still is, as far as I'm concerned. He's still pulling the strings on all of us. But we're having fun and we're honoring him. And I say we keep going until people aren't having fun.
So I guess that's kind of your answer to the people who are commenting on us dropping the toy that we're commercializing his legacy.
Daniel was commercializing in 75, 76, 77, and his whole life. Even on the road, he would bring these. You want to talk about side hustles? He'd bring with him. He'd say, Don, because I'd be with him at his house before we'd leave. You know, we'd often get in a car and just take off. He'd be like, hey, man, buy a bunch of cassettes from Jeff Tartikoff. So I'd go and I'd buy a bunch of cassettes from Stress. Even when they were figuring out how to do Daniel's own stuff, you know, they wanted him to have his own company. The family brilliantly came in and created everything around Daniel like a cottage industry, like it should be, right?
Yeah.
But Daniel knew that, people want those cassettes. So he'd tell me, or get a bunch of cassettes from Jeff, you know, because back then it was even computer. You could do stuff online, and this was like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. But don't kid yourself, seriously, because Dan would be like, okay, we got the cassettes, we got these drawings. He'd go, what do you think of these drawings? How much should I sell them for? I'd be like, Dan, you got to sell them for what don't give them away. Sometimes he'd give them to pretty girls. But I'd say, you got to have a good price on them. I'd tell him what I think they were worth. And then here's what he would spend the money on. Okay. Say whatever you want about it. He would spend the money on, we had a budget on the road together, and his dad was the big boss. And he would say, okay, you get this much money to spend. Don, you get this percentage of the tour. Like his dad did all the number crunching, and we knew, and I tried to tell Dan, we already know what we're going to make at each show, Dan. Like it's all in the books, right? But Dan wanted spending money. And what did he want? Beatles records. He wanted comic books. He wanted toys. And that's what Daniel loved. So for me to sit here and say, oh my God, so we're building his legacy. You know what we're saving money for? There's going to be a museum. And you know what? Museums are really expensive. And buildings are really expensive. And we're not going to let a bunch of people come in and pay for it all and make all the money. It's going to stay in the family. It's going to stay in the trust. And it's going to help his legacy. Nobody's getting rich off Daniel. I promise you. No one's getting rich. Now, don't get me wrong. We got to spend money sometimes to make money. And we got to figure out how much we're going to spend on each record. Like, here's an example. Okay, everybody, I had one person like, oh, you're making all this money off Daniel. I said, do you know how much a double gatefold record with a printed, these are not cheap.
No.
And we're not doing it to make money. We're doing it. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not that we don't make money, but it's to, like, we do yellow vinyl because Daniel loved yellow.
Yeah.
Daniel loved yellow. So we spend a few more bucks to put out yellow vinyl. We don't charge that much more. Actually, these are all very reasonable. So anyway, don't get me started. But if you want to hate on,
we just wanted to address it and say that.
If people want to hate on it, if that's how you want to spend your energy, then good for you, man. And I still love, we still.
I get that people feel like they're protecting Daniel.
Oh God, all of them. Everybody does.
But everybody that's involved is really, really like
passionate.
Daniel's world. Yeah, passionate.
Oh my God, Daniel's fighting for the best.
Yeah.
No.
So.
No,
Daniel's comments are not.
So you can keep criticizing, but what are you doing?
The same thing again.
We open another beer.
Well, I drink my tea.
So yeah, so to the people who criticize, keep criticizing, we're so in love with Daniel's art and his music and his work that it's such an honor. You were tearing up at the beginning of this. Like, we get moved working on the project, and sometimes it feels like, okay, or it's just like work, like we're just doing, we're just shipping. But that we talk about like how moved we get when we get excited that we're part of his legacy. So,
well, I want to give you one example, and I'll keep it short. But Supreme is a really good example. Okay, not very many people know the original story of Supreme. Anybody ever watch the movie Kids?
Yes.
Yeah. Does anybody know the story
Miranda
of how kids?
Miranda's still on 1989. She's catching up.
I'm going to tell you. So to all the Supreme haters out there, there's a lot of Supreme haters. Oh my God, I'm not going to pay $400 for a jacket. Okay, fine. Don't pay $400 for a jacket. Get smart. Wait for it to be sold on the secondary market. Maybe get it for $150, $200. Find a way to trade. Talk to me, whatever. I mean, there's ways that you can.
Can I get some Supreme gear? Most
of it's gone.
Can you get me like a red tracksuit?
Let me just tell you that those street punks, those street rats that built Supreme.
Yo, everyone who buys Supreme, Don just called you out.
No.
What?
The people that created Supreme.
Oh, okay.
All I'm saying is, if you're making fun of Supreme and you think you don't know the story, because that's rags to riches. Those kids that scrape together the money for kids, they love Daniel then, they love him now. The fact that they were able to put one of their heroes on their clothing line, really? They can't do that? I don't know. Don't get started. But whatever. Right. Yeah. Don't get
So let's.
I love my Vans bag.
Let's talk about.
My Vans. I love my Vans too. I was in
music.
All right, let's talk about music.
Let's talk about music. You were telling
us how this person found Daniel's music. Exactly.
I remember.
So without those collaborations, this person, Mark Guinness, is that the name? Would never have found Daniel's music, and that's important.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's because we're spreading the word. So I mean, I know the first song that I ever heard from Daniel was "Put My Love Out the Door," and I'm pretty sure that I heard that in like '99 for the first time.
Well, his last cassette was put out, in '99, and I think that was on. Oh man, are you gonna play it?
Alex, get ready.
Can you play "Put My Love Out the Door"?
Just tell me the name of the album. I got the album. I got the full discography.
More Songs of Pain.
More Songs of Pain. Okay, I got it right
watch
here.
us on Instagram and you're asking us questions or commenting, please come over to YouTube/Clutter Magazine and comment and question, because it's too far away for us to actually be able to read them properly or comment back. But it's a really fun over on YouTube. You can get the app on your phone. It's very similar.
Can you play it, Alex?
Yeah, I got it right here.
I'm watching the live one.
To your house and brought you a Valentine.
Oh my gosh.
Did you do?
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Pull up out the door, out in the cold.
The first time I heard this, Alex, you can pause it. The first time I heard this song, it blew my mind because we were really going down like this indie hole. And a very, very good friend of mine said, "Have you heard Daniel Johnston?" I was like, "Who's that?" And he played me this song, and I was like blown away by the raw talent. And it was like, oh, this is something that's completely independently produced. It doesn't seem like it has any formal training behind it or formal production value behind it.
Well, ironically, he was a hell of a piano player.
Right.
But
it hit my heart out. And the first time I heard this, it taught me something about music that I didn't know before I heard it. Go ahead, Don.
Can I give you
I feel like I'm winding you up, Don, and pulling the string.
Okay. I gotta let everybody know. We are filming. We are in process of.
Are you allowed to tell? You just don't divulge everything, Don.
No, I won't. But I got to tell you this. So that he wrote that song about Lori Allen, okay? And we just brought Lori Allen out to Colorado. I flew her out for about a week. We put her up, and her daughter. Man, it's so deep. I can't even tell you. But she came, And she told me in person, she's never properly been interviewed. The Devil and Daniel Johnston didn't want to film her because they wanted to freeze Daniel in time, that love story. I'm the opposite. I want the whole world to meet Lori Allen because she's badass. She's a cool chick, man. I see why Daniel wrote 90% of his songs about her. Here's what I'm going to tell you about that song. She told me that that what happened was he went to her house to finally say, you know what? I'm not messing around anymore, Lori. I'm in love with you. I want to be with you. I don't care if you're married. I don't care about Pete. I don't care about any of this stuff. And she slammed the door on him. And he wrote that song after she rejected him. And he said it was one of the worst things that ever happened to him. And she felt horrible. She loved him so much, but not that way. But I'm going to tell you, that's exactly what you're picking up on. That is about as real a song could get, because he probably went home and he wrote that song probably, 5 minutes after she shut that door on his face. But that's exactly why he wrote it, because that's what he needed to do to deal with his pain. So yeah, anyway.
So I'm just going to pause this.
That's not the answer.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Why?
He's not a school teacher. It was done by a high school teacher.
No, but I had a conversation with Andrew and he told me he still had it. I think
had what?
The original sculpt.
That's not who sculpted it.
I'm gonna hang up on Instagram.
Okay, sorry. We're there's some consternation now in the chat about who sculpted the frog.
1 second.
Sorry to pause this amazing story.
It might be right.
His name is on the bot. I think his name's on the bot.
Tell us the name on the
I
box,
think
because
it
it is
is.
not Andy Bell.
I think it is.
No,
You
it's
tell
not
the name on
Andy.
the box.
I
It's
know
not
the
Andy
name.
Bell.
The second you say it, I know it. It's like Jeff.
think-
Wait, here's another name. Here's another name. Wait, scroll up.
Oh wait, I can't say it because then
The other one here.
we got to do some. Listen, guys, we're gonna run out of time. We got to do some trivia and give away some stuff.
We're just gonna give stuff away. We're just gonna pick.
I'm texting Andy to find out if this is true, because I vaguely remember having a conversation with him where he told me that he did.
Well, I know his
Talking about
name.
something
Do
else,
you have the
because my
original
brain doesn't
box?
work very well.
Do you
I
have
don't. I don't
All
even.
right, all right. Well, this is great toy lore, and I'm 100% certain that when we discussed it, when we first started sculpting the new frog, it was not Andy Bell that we were talking about.
No, it's not.
There's the name again. There's the name again. That's
Jeffrey
the name.
Newman.
That's
Jeffrey
the name.
Newman.
Jeffrey Newman.
Jeffrey
Yep,
Newman.
that's it. It's
That's the
Jeffrey
name.
Newman.
That's who did it.
Andrew Bell has something to do with it. We'll find
Andy
out. They
Bell.
will
Andy
answer.
Bell may have been.
So hold on a minute. How do you tell the difference now between somebody who's going to throw that name out there after we've said it?
Stephanie won. I saw Stephanie post it.
Okay.
In the,
All right,
Stephanie
Stephanie,
wrote
yeah.
it. Stephanie
Okay.
won. Stephanie
All right,
We'll do
won.
that for the other trivia.
Yes, we'll do
I'm
more
hooking up
trivia.
Stephanie.
Stephanie, don't worry. I know you said it first, Stephanie.
Okay, all right. Okay, here's the next one.
Okay.
This one's huge, right? This one's huge. All right.
And
If anybody knows who this is on the cover of Yip Jump, I'll give you a book and a record topper.
I thought you were going to say blowjob.
No. I'm terrible at blowjobs. I'm not good at it. So listen, here's the thing. I want to be really clear. I don't want to waste your time. Please don't say it's Daniel, because it's not Daniel. And please don't say it's Casper the Friendly Ghost, because I promise you,
Okay.
as an archivist, it is not either Casper or Daniel. It is it is
Okay.
Okay?
Should we play something off of Yip Jump?
Yes. Oh my God. And I will tell you, what are you going to play? Museum of Love? No, you're going to play Chord Organ Blues. And I'm going to tell you real quick, a little bit of trivia. Guess what one of my jobs is? One of my jobs is as we're writing these scripts, I am tying in the actual props for the producers and for the, so my job is to find, everything's big in Texas, you know it is. I might have made a big mistake.
He's got to watch DZ's face.
So what I do, no, I'm not joking, guys. This is
I love baby.
my job is to find the props, and then I work with Nick to make sure we have the right one, because everybody thinks, oh, it's this or it's this. I have photos and I match them up. And right now we're trying to struggle with, is it the Magnus one with the embossed
I love it.
or electric chord organ, or is it the one?
Brenda is a toy piano kind of girl.
Oh my God.
Toy
Oh,
So can you
Toy
play us?
instruments
Can you
in
play us the
general.
song, Alex?
So play the
Yeah.
song, and
Before you
that's
play the song, let me just answer the question
Sure.
of somebody that came over from Instagram about Cambots. This one, the silver one will be on sale soon. It was pre-ordered for the people that bought the yellow. We gave them this as an exclusive, thank you. but it will be available soon. Thanks for jumping
And
over.
but can I tell you some other
some
other crazy trivia
Carry
too
on.
about the
Come
crazy
on,
toy
Andrew,
connections
text me
on the sculpt, and not just the sculpt, on the toy. So when we produced the toy, I don't know if I told anyone this, but the guy who runs the factory where we made the toy worked for the original factory
Oh yeah, that's true.
that made the first toy, and when we sent it over, he was like,
Eating motorcycle.
He's not listening.
He's not listening,
to
okay.
you.
Yeah. All right.
"It doesn't matter. Play the song. Play the song.
All right, yeah. Cool.
Play the song."
Cool.
Okay, that's his big hands hitting the keys.
Everything's big in Texas, you know it is. I think I might have made a big mistake. Corridor wood, singing the corridor wood.
He's trilling.
So was this produced? Can you pause it, Alex? Was
Okay,
this
so
produced, like
okay.
was this like a 4-track? Like how many tracks was that?
No, that was one track. The only time, sometimes there was 2 tracks because he'd have 2, and I have those cassettes too. So I collect all the original cassette, the realistic tape recorder. He had a couple of boom boxes. So again, part of my job. So I'm going to be the guy that helps make the movies, and there's a docuseries, there's a going to be a dramatic series, and I'm the guy that's going to be able to say this is what he was using. And so in that case, he did this whole album in his brother's garage. I've actually located the actual garage. I've contacted the owners, and at some point we're going to go out there and we're going to see if they would let us actually film there. If you see the movie Hi, How Are You, Daniel Johnston? They did a pretty good job of reproducing that garage scene. They used like a weight bench, and they put the 2 cassettes. But he did learn overdubbing because of the Beatles, and he did overdub with 2. But he didn't really learn about the really good overdubbing until he got his boom box, which was probably maybe 79 or 80. But anyway, back to this. Do you want to stay on this theme? Because I know we're going to run out of time. Okay, so we got the question about that. Now, I'm going to say, does anybody know, before we play it, does anybody know what this is out there?
It's like a ukulele.
It's a toy guitar.
It's a toy ukulele.
Okay, so but it's used on Yip Jump as well. See, Yip Jump just happens to be, I know a lot of people love Hi, How Are You? And I know a lot of people love Songs in Pain, and I do too, but Yip Jump changed my life forever. And Yip Jump is my go-to record when I want to get lifted up. But this is the one that he plays. So the first person to tell me what song does Daniel play his Smurf? This is the same exact Smurf guitar that Daniel played on Yip Jump. If anybody can tell me what song it is. So we'll do that. We'll put that on hold for just a second. We won't play the song. Then the next
Are you going to play the song?
No.
Well, not yet, because don't you want some people to try to answer?
No, don't say it. You're just saying on which song does he play the Smurf guitar?
Yeah, which
So that's
song?
the question. That's the third trivia question tonight, everybody.
Right.
On what song on Yip Jump did Daniel play his toy Smurf guitar?
And then there's a bonus. If you could tell me where he got the Smurf guitar, if you could tell me where you got the Smurf guitar, you are going to come work for me as a research, because nobody knows where he got it.
Oh man.
Okay.
So,
and then here's the fourth question.
That's good.
All right. Name the song that Daniel used the Fisher Price Roly Poly Chime Ball. Which song does Daniel use? I'll even play the sound for you. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so give him some time on that.
Books.
Okay.
Wait,
Books and
rules.
Actually, I think I said if you know who's on the cover of Yip Jump, I'll send you a record topper. I've got some extra record toppers.
And so,
right.
So which question gets the new Jeremiah Frog?
Oh, I don't know. That's got to be a big question, because I don't know, man. Let's try to decide that in the next
trivia
one.
night with Don. Like we should do this like once a month.
Trivia night would be fun.
Yeah.
Actually, we should just do a trivia night.
Yeah.
I think me and Alice could pull that
Well,
off.
why don't you guys?
Yeah.
I got some people that want me to do a podcast and a video cast. You guys can help me produce it.
Yeah.
We got an answer here. We got an answer here for the ukulele is sorry entertainer from Ashkan, who's actually told me in the past that he's Daniel's biggest fan. So.
All right. Well, why don't you play it and we'll see if he's right.
Go on.
All right, cool.
Hold
Hold up right now.
Let's do it. This is fun. I like.
I
this.
like just this.
Yeah, this
I
is
like.
fun. This is fun. We should do this more often.
He's right.
Yay!
That's badass, dude. I want to meet that guy. That's great.
Come to 5 Points.
Ashkan.
Yeah, dude, come to 5 Points. I will hook you up. Okay, so what about the ball? He probably knows this too. He's not allowed to answer.
You can't win twice in one night. You can't.
Hang on a second. Ashkan, if you could send us an email to info@clutter.toys, then we can
We'll
make
hook
sure
you
you
up.
get the
Yeah,
information.
we'll hook you up.
Okay.
Maybe we'll follow up with you, but.
All right. So what else? Okay. So let me just try to pull. Okay. So if anybody can name, let's do another one. Okay. Right now I'm working on a top secret project. I'm going to say it here first. You've heard this first.
Okay.
I believe I found Daniel's real first record, not Songs of Pain. Songs of Pain is the one that kind of Daniel like fine-tuned it and he picked all the songs and they were kind of where he was at that time. But there was an album right before it. And if you can name and here's the hint. The hint is it's a band name and you'll never get the full band name unless you're an insider. But if you could tell me the name of the region and the town and the bill, I get confused about all the different places in West Virginia. But if you can tell me the name it's the name of the album that nobody knows about yet, but it's the area that Daniel grew up in, and it's where all his friends were, and it may not be exactly where he lived.
Yeah, I think you're giving too many hints because I could just look that up.
Yeah, stop now. Okay,
All right.
So it's the name of his first album.
All right.
Well, no, his real first album that nobody knows
Real
about.
first album.
I recently uncovered it, and it's in the name of the band. And so he created a band when he was in high school with this name in it, and it's it's a no-brainer once you like put all the pieces together. Like, oh yeah, it makes sense. So anyway, there's that.
Right.
And
Okay.
then, you want to do another one?
Yeah.
Um.
Can you do one where we give away the frog?
Oh shoot.
Well,
okay.
Go back on Instagram.
Oh man.
You've got time, Don. You've got time.
Okay.
Take a breath.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say. Okay, let's see. How about,
Hang on, how do I click?
oh my gosh. What? Oh gosh. Oh man, that's such a good one. I hadn't thought of that one. Oh, okay. Who inspired Daniel Johnston? Who gave him the confidence to use, to not be ashamed? Because a lot of people don't know this, but he wasn't some like ahead of his time. He didn't write these albums on chord organ because he wanted to. Daniel wrote them on because that's all he could get hold of. He couldn't get a piano. So he had to find a piano, or he had to get so there's a whole story of how he got the chord organs, right? How he got this. But what is a very famous musician who inspired Daniel that it was okay to use unconventional methods to create music? And this is
Was it a person or a band?
It was a person. She.
Oh!
I just gave it away, didn't I?
Well, but you're inspired. This isn't the answer. No, it's okay. It's okay. But the answer to the question is it reminded me of Pink Floyd because I know that there was a whole.
No, that's a great answer.
I know they did a whole thing where they like recreated the sounds of instruments using household items, and then
it was several
species
of animals together in a
cave.
In a pit or something. Yeah, no.
From Amagama. Or is it Umaguma?
I call it Umaguma. But
Is it Umaguma?
The English call it Umaguma, I think.
Umaguma? How do you pronounce it? Miranda's never heard that album?
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm an early Floyd fan. Like Sid Barrett is one of my heroes.
Miranda's never heard or seen anything. That's how I duped her into marrying me. I was like, this is good. And she's like, I believe you.
The more I talk to John,
that one.
All right. So anyway, who is the name of the musician, very famous, who inspired Daniel to use unconventional instruments or sounds on his record?
And if we don't give away a frog tonight, we're gonna have Don back in a few weeks. We'll do another session with Don. It's gonna be an ongoing.
Just bring him up for 10 minutes.
Okay, here's one. It's a little self-serving. But what is the name of the band that Ron English and me and Daniel are in? And what is the name of the band? And we're very obscure. We're the greatest band you never heard of. But what's the name of the band that Dan, Ron, and I founded in 1999 together?
All right.
Okay.
That's
all right. Let's
like
go.
27 questions.
So that's a lot of questions. So there's a lot of questions out there. We're going to be giving away lots of books.
Okay. All right. What do you want to do now?
Let's get back to the conversation.
Okay.
With BJs.
Rabbits with 3 BJs. But you're right. It is with 3
I
Bs,
don't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about music.
Can I talk about some projects?
Yes.
Yeah. Please.
So one of Daniel's heroes was Kramer. And Kramer put out I don't have it here with me in 1990, but we call it his gospel record. It's probably the only record that we think it's going to be in the Smithsonian 1990. It's truly one of the most, it's his magnus opus. It's just absolutely incredible. Here's another one though, that is one of my dear favorites. It's called Artistic Vice. I call it the greatest church garage band in the world. And this is a phenomenal record if you haven't heard it. And I'm in the process right now of putting out a double with rehearsal songs. We've got some never before released. I'm talking to all his bandmates, the I Band. And so we're going to put this out. But on a separate note, something very exciting just happened about a month ago. So Kramer, who produced Artistic Vice in 1990, one of Daniel's friends, one of the best producers ever worked with Daniel, just released I Killed the Monster on not only cassette, but and it has only been available on CD. This just came out, and I'm pretty damn sure it's sold out. And he put it on, to honor Dan, he put it on green Monster vinyl. And that could be our ham-handed segue. I know you've queued up the song. I Killed the Monster is off of Artistic Vice. And well, let me tell you a little bit about this song. What's so great about it is Daniel knew very early that he had bipolar. And he knew very early on that there were some of the schizophrenic episodes that came with it. He knew he had manic depression, and he did his absolute best to get through it, through his mythology, through his friends, through his faith was really, really important, got him through so much, his family, all these things. But the great thing about the song I Killed the Monster is that's who Daniel was. He's like, I killed the monster, because he knew that monster was trying to get him. And we all have a monster. And I don't mean to make this like a PSA about mental health, but man, think about it. We all have a monster. We all are dealing with demons. And Daniel's story, one of the reasons it's so great. Yeah, he was DIY. Yeah, he was a great poet. Yeah, he was so super educated. He knew music. He knew art so early on in his life. He was a phenomenal artist, really, really young. He was drawing like these. I'll show you some examples if you want to see them. But my point is, he never gave up. He never gave up. And he used music, and he used art, and he used his friends, and he used his faith and his family as vehicles, as coping mechanisms to get it through it. Because you know what? Somebody's going to be done with this tonight and go home and be depressed. I might hit some depression. You might, whatever. But it's like Daniel can inspire people like, go write a song about it. Go fill a journal. Daniel had 200 journals that we know of. He filled them to the brim with ideas. It doesn't matter if they're good, bad, or indifferent. But my PSA for the night is Daniel Johnston inspires people It doesn't matter how it sounds. Just get it out of your heart, get it out of your head, and just do it. And if they don't like it, fuck them. Just do it. Just do it. And I think I Killed the Monster is a perfect example of how Daniel felt about beating, evil or sadness or people that made him angry or people that put him down. So anyway, sorry. There we go.
Song, Alex?
All right.
I'm moving on, I'm getting out, I killed a monster. Past is behind, fate has been kind, I killed a monster. I know it's right, I'm gonna fight, I killed a monster. Let it be said, when I am dead, I killed a monster. Push me down, throw my name around, but I have found a good thing. Right to the end, I was my friend, I killed a monster. I almost lost, I paid the cost, I killed a monster. Angels came down right all around, I killed a monster. Blood on the ground, there was no sound, I was the winner. Took me down, throw my name around, but I have found a good name. I killed the monster. I killed the monster. I killed the monster. I killed the monster.
Oh, this is great.
So good.
Oh, that's the part where he goes, ooh, and he starts going into that amazing falsetto. People don't realize too, Daniel is looked upon by musicians all over the world for his pure and innocent falsetto. And he didn't like his voice. He always said, someday, Don, I'm going to be famous because they're going to give me the right microphone. So I always thought it was the microphone. But he had this innocence and this childlike thing, but he also had a little Dylan in him. He had a falsetto in him. And I just think, I love his voice personally. I mean, I thought it was great because it was so fitting. But yeah, that's a little trivia for you. He always thought, someday I'm gonna have a really good voice and somebody's gonna give me that magic microphone. So, anyway.
What was it like being on the road with Daniel?
Oh my God, it was madness. Absolutely madness. I was in my early 30s and I was like, what am I doing? Like, don't get me wrong. He needed me at that time. I had to get him to his fans. My big job was to get Daniel all over the world. Man, we spent a month in Germany. We went all through Europe. They love him in England, Paris. I mean, he had these pockets of amazing fans all over the world. And I told Bill and Mabel, I'll do it. Like, Dan and I love each other. We're friends. And they knew I got to meet. I spent so much time working on the book down there. And they were like, yeah, Don, if you're nuts enough to do it. I mean, Dick would call me up and be like, what are you doing, man? Like, he's just like, he didn't understand. We'd be gone for two weeks at a time. And Ron English used to call me his handler because I was his handler. I had to get him through the airports. I had to get him through toll booth. I had to make sure people didn't get him too high. Like, I had strict rules. Like, Daniel loved his marijuana, but like, I had to make sure we regulated it. It was phenomenal. Miranda, it was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life because we got to be friends and we got to like drive and talk and sing and eat. And, I had to protect him from the weird fans. I got to help him go shopping. I got to check in with his parents, being all over the world with Daniel Johnston. The only person I think could really relate to that would be his brother. Because his brother did the same thing. His dad went on a couple of big trips. His dad went to Berlin with him and went to Japan. I didn't get to go to Japan. I wanted to go with him so bad, but Daniel's dad was a World War II fighter pilot, and he wanted to kind of, relive some of that.
What's a crazy story
about me and Dan? Oh, my
Yeah.
God, my favorite one is two, and they're in the book. In this book, there's not a lot of people actually take the time to read through.
I don't read books.
Well, I get it. This one, it'll be.
I might read your book, but we'll see.
Well, I'll get you a copy of this. This has been out of print for 15 years. That's why
I'm going to hold you to that.
Well, so anyway, so my two favorite funniest stories about being on the road with Daniel was Daniel. I would really, really celebrate when he had a good show and he worked hard. I was teaching him, you do really well, you get a reward. He loved pizza parties. You do a good job tonight. You do a couple extra songs. You do 2 extra encores. You know, you charm the pants off. You're kind and you're generous. You know, because he could be grumpy as hell, and sometimes he could have a rough time. Poor Daniel, he could have a really, really rough time. But when he did really, really well, I wanted to teach him that reward syndrome. Like, man, help me hang that show. You know, whatever. And I'll never forget. We were in Paris and we were trying to go and find a restaurant. And it was really late at night. We couldn't find a place. We finally found a place. We knocked on the door, said we were these Americans, let us in. Will you please feed us? And we sat down and it was high end. It was the only place at midnight. And they had trout almondine on there. And Dan was like, hey, I think I'll have the trout. And I was like, cool, man, you deserve the trout. You know, you made it here. We got through the airports. We got through security. Getting Daniel through security was a fucking nightmare because he was filled. His pockets were filled with all kinds of shit that you didn't know until he was like a little kid with frogs in his pockets. And so, no, I shit you not, man. He pulled out a gun after we were at Heathrow. You know Heathrow. You're English. So we were at fucking Heathrow here. I shit you not, as God is my witness. Max, you need to come in on the show at some point. My Yip Jump baby, or not Yip Jump baby, but Daniel's godson's in the other room. So here's the thing. So we're at Heathrow, and this is after 9/11. You guys know what happened after 9/11. They left. Hold on, buddy. I'm in the middle of a story. So all of a sudden we're going through, and he loved his toys. He loved those little guns that go zzz, zzz, and they spark, right?
Yeah. The ray
So
guns.
here I am. We're going through the thing, and I'm patting him down. Patting down Daniel Johnston is not fun, right? Because he's very, very, like, he doesn't want you touching him. And I'm sitting there making sure he doesn't have anything in his pockets. So all of a sudden, out of his big his big jacket, he pulls out a gun and starts shooting it. All right, this place is under arrest.
Oh my God.
You not, and those guys came running for us. You know how they're dressed in England. They don't even look like cops, but they have it scared the living. They started to grab him, and he was like, and he does this thing when he's mad, where he becomes the Hulk, and he goes, ah! And I think one of the guys went flying off his arm. It was such. And I immediately ran up and I was like, no. He's mentally ill. I've got his medication. And I had to show him the medication. And oh my God, I thought he was going to get arrested because of 9/11. And he didn't have any concept. The other one is, so we were in tour, we were in Paris, and we ate the trout almondine and everything was great. And somehow he was always slipping things that I wasn't watching. He was sneaky. Daniel was sneaky snake. I called him Sneaky Snake. I said he was always slipping, not stealing, but he would just put weird shit in his pockets. And all of a sudden, so after like 4 or 5 days, Daniel smells like crap. Like, I'm like, what is going on here? Not crap like poop. He smelled like fish. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And he would never let me. I'm like, Daniel, show me your pockets. And he'd be like, no. Or he would like fake, and he'd show me half his pocket. And so, it gets better. So after he goes to sleep, I woke up, or I got up, and I went through, and he slept in his underwear. Not that people need to know that, but I went through and I grabbed his sweatpants. He loved his sweatpants. He was a Alex, before you, he was sweatpants. I'm serious. Dan turned me on to sweatpants. So I reached into there, and guess what was in there? The
trout almondine
skin. The skin of the trout. And so the next morning, I'm like livid. I'm like, Daniel, what the hell are you doing? Like, I said, Daniel, this smells horrible. Like, people are going to think this and that and whatever. And I said, why the hell did you have this trout skin in your pocket? You know what he said? It's shiny. I want to hang it on my wall when I get home as a remember of our trip. He loved shiny things, which actually kind of ties in a little bit with he loved shiny things, and he would get mesmerized by shiny things. And he loved yellow. He loved shiny things. I don't know, but
does anybody in the chat have any questions for Don real quick? Because I know
Don's got a bounce.
Yeah, there's some super fans in the chat. So if you want to just jump in there with a question about Daniel, this is
and
your
Don, we're
answer.
gonna have Don back because
Yeah.
There's never enough.
Do you want to sneak the
Oh yeah, before you go, we did want to do so. Ask a question
ask a question?
in the last few minutes, and then we did just want to quickly sneak the next color of the Jeremiah frog.
Here we come.
Okay, so you want another trivia question?
No,
No.
we're gonna stay with me, Don. Stay with me, baby.
Sorry, man.
We're gonna sneak the
We're
next
gonna do it really
color.
fast, but as Susie says, you can always pull.
Ooh, it's green.
It's really fun.
It's the frog of hope.
Maximus,
Hope.
I need you.
Each one is different.
Hiding.
Each one has a different phrase, and that is the frog of hope.
Oh, and here is, and I had Jeremiah on the cover of the 3rd edition of Hi, How Are You? So that you're staying true to Max, you need to come down. Wrap up the show.
That's crazy.
So you guys are rocking it. And then he loved, I know. Here's the question. This is a huge question. This is a big one. No, I'm not joking.
Okay.
What is the origin of Jeremiah? There's 2 answers that I know are true because Daniel told me to my face. One has been backed up by family and friends, and the other one is it shows up in some drawings. But there are 2 origins. Now, there's probably more. Daniel was prolific as hell, and he had a lot of stories, and I'm still doing research, and I still think I'm going to
The
find
origin on Jeremiah.
the Hi, How Are You frog, the one that everybody loves.
Is it a tadpole? Is the answer a tadpole?
The origin.
I don't know what
That's
a,
the origin
I don't know.
story.
All I know is the way that the English say tadpole. I want you to be my best friend. Tadpole.
Tadpole.
Max, you need to come down because I'm done in 5 minutes, and you have to show everybody. So here, look. Let me just share with you guys. So I ended my career with Daniel because of this amazing, beautiful creature. My son. We called him the Yip Jump, or the Yip Jump baby. He wasn't the real Yip Jump baby, but when Max was a newborn, I wanted to show Daniel, I had to show him why I gave up my life with him. So Max, put that shirt on right there and come in and show everyone. Just real quick, put that shirt on.
Like that.
So I want you to see. So
How old is Max now?
he's 19.
Oh.
And I had to show this. I sent a picture of this to Bill and Mabel.
You know you're embarrassing him on the internet right now?
Oh, he's a sensation on the TikTok. He and I did a video. I got 7.5 million views. It was awesome.
Wow.
No, my son is cute as fuck, but no, he is. And okay.
Are you gonna do a dance for us?
Here he is. Look, he's all grown up.
Hello.
Whoa, what's up? Wait,
And that's
They're twins.
Yeah, you guys look
Oh,
two
yeah.
twins.
No. I'm goofy cute. He's real handsome.
He's sexy. Max, you're sexy cute.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
thought you were going to put a baby grow on. I was like, dude, that's not
It's okay.
What,
Can you do a TikTok? Grab your nuts again and do a TikTok dance for us.
What do you do on TikTok, Max?
Yeah, Max. What's Max doing on
Can you
TikTok?
come and
yeah, what's your
read
TikTok
the
handle?
Oh, it's Maximus Geode is my name.
Maximus Geode.
Don't go on it. Don't go on it.
Don't go on it. It's so embarrassing. But
What does he do? What does he do on TikTok?
oh my God, he is out of control. He does the weirdest shit. He
Why
does.
are you doing the weirdest shit right now?
Yeah, do something
Come on,
weird.
Come back,
No, no. He gets really embarrassed whenever I bring him into this stuff. But he is his own thing. And actually, I got to tell you this. He is a very accomplished musician. He doesn't improvise like I do, and he doesn't write I'll write a song about this for God's sake. But he's really, really good on the piano. He's helping us put together a songbook of Daniel's songs so that you can buy a greatest hits and you can read the music and play it on piano. Both hands, the real deal. So no, I'm bringing him into it just because he got to meet Daniel a couple of times, but he was really young. He was one time when he was 5, one time when he was 10. But yeah, anyway, that's a whole other thing. But I think Daniel had to know what I was giving up. And when he saw that I was marrying Gina, my childhood sweetheart, and then I was having a child and moving back home to be with my family, he kind of let me off the hook. He's like, okay, well, you can go, Don. Anyway.
Well,
And it
Any
sounds like an
questions?
incredible relationship. And
Yeah, Daniel and I were pretty close there once he got super famous after The Devil and Daniel Johnston, I only saw him maybe 10 times, and after that movie came out, great movie. Just scratches the surface as far as I'm concerned. I'm writing episodes, kind of letting everybody know what, there's a lot more to that. But brilliant movie, documentary, and I think it really introduced us to Daniel. But get ready, we're getting ready to take him. You've been introduced to Daniel, but get ready to get the story just gets deeper and deeper and better and more phenomenal. And I think people are going to be really, really happy with the way that we're going to leave his legacy before we go. We're next to go, and we want to leave it to a certain spot. Some people say it'll happen on its own naturally. I don't agree. I think it needs to have some people that loved him and honored him, and I think they need to be the ones that worked with him need to have a say in it. I think, at least for now,
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for coming on. Thank you for
I
being
have
awesome
so many
and
more
working
questions,
with
but
you.
maybe we can have you
Well,
on
he's
again,
he's
Don.
gonna go. I know he does.
No,
wait,
no.
I want to answer one. Can I just answer
Yes.
one or two?
Yeah.
Questions?
Yeah, I want to answer a couple.
Quick fire questions. You got quick fire
I
questions?
don't have quick fire questions.
We got a couple answers here from the trivia questions, like the name of the band with you, Ron, and Daniel.
Okay. What is it?
No, it's
No.
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 Put up the Lydia Stomach answer from 7:15. She has the answer correct.
So 7:15.
Yeah. And Lydia, you should send us an email to info@clutter.
Yes, Lydia.
Yeah. Is it clutter.toys?
Oh man, I'm gonna hook.
Well, I know you can go either way. We have lots of email addresses. So
Just remember Lydia, because I want to send.
and
her
then
something really
and then there was a question. Was the answer Ashkan? Am I saying? I'm probably mispronouncing your name. Is Kim Gordon
No,
the answer?
it's a good one. That's not a bad answer, but no, it is a woman, and she's a lot more famous than Kim. I know Kim knows about Dan, and I think Dan met her. Dan, that whole thing with Steve Shelley, and that whole thing about Lee with his camera running around in '88 filming Dan. Dan has a big history with Sonic Youth, huge history with Sonic Youth. Yeah. But nope, it's not Kim. But man, you're not
far away.
Yeah, it's. I'll give you another hint. She is incredible.
I mean, my questions are more like there's so much really specific lore out there that I want.
Yeah. Give me one. Shoot one. Mental institutions. Yeah, he was.
Let's do the one. One thing that you and I have talked about a lot in our relationship is the relevance of the Kurt Cobain T-shirt.
Oh yeah, I can talk a little bit about it, but yeah, I mean, just.
But did they ever meet?
No, they never met. But I will tell you this.
How did Dan feel about it? Was Dan aware of the fact that he
was? But okay,
he had the spotlight put on him.
There's a famous drawing that we're working with that says "Thanks Nirvana."
Yes.
And I think that was Jeff Tartikoff's brilliant. Jeff Tartikoff had some brilliant moments as Daniel's manager, and I think it was Jeff Tartikoff's idea to have Dan repay the favor by making that T-shirt that says "Thanks Nirvana." But Daniel didn't really understand who Kurt Cobain was per se. But we did listen to a little bit of Nirvana on the road. He wasn't a huge fan. Dan and I listened to a lot of music on the road, a lot of music, and what
was his favorite Beatles album?
That's a trick question because he loved them all at different times.
But was he more of like an early Beatles fan?
No, he loved it all. He and I were obsessive compulsives together. So we would listen to the White Album over and over and over and over.
So on the White Album, did he have a specific song on the White Album?
He loved them all. You know what? It's funny. He gave me marching orders.
I mean, because you know what? Like, I love the White Album, but like, I don't need Savoy Truffle.
Yeah, Daniel didn't discriminate when it came to the beat. Like, people don't know this about him too, but he loved Wings. Oh my God, did he love Wings? He loved Plastic Ono Band. He loved
Plastic Ono Band is an incredible album, but what was did he have a favorite Wings song? Because I'm not a huge Wings fan.
Oh my God, he loved everything. Dan, he had such a voracious, or not voracious, but he just loved music. He loved anything the Beatles did, we would listen to. We'd listen to George Harrison. We'd listen to Paul McCartney. We would break off and be like, oh, okay, we got to give the Beatles a break. Let's see what they were up to in 74, 75, or whatever, I mean, people don't know that about Dan because he kind of comes across like same old story. The Beatles. But he really like right now. I'm working on an album of ours, our second album, which is almost done. But he literally said to me, Don, you got to get a Hofner bass. I want that fat Hofner Paul McCartney sound.
Yeah.
He was really, or at least with me, he was very relentless about what he wanted. And when we were working on our albums together, for God's sakes, our Electric Ghost record didn't even come out until 2006. I had to play him for him over the phone, and he'd say, well, I want more lead guitar, or I want more. He was a master of, I want to say manipulation, but he knew what he wanted, and I think it just came from the fact that he loved music, and he just loved music. Like we listened to ABBA, Butthole Surfers. Oh my God, Butthole Surfers were our good go-to.
So give me a Butthole Surfers album because I'm a big
Weird Revolution was our Weird Revolution.
So wait, that it's like a 3-part Revolution song on Geode, that album.
We never listened to P.O. We liked the early stuff, but man, when they really rocked, and when King Coffee started bringing, and even some of those electronic drums, he really, really loved Weird Revolution. I mean, we would listen to that stuff. We'd scream that at the top of our lungs. I turned him on to the Flaming Lips. I was a huge Flaming Lips, still am. I turned him on to alternative indie. I loved like Echo and the Bunnymen, but he never really, it was more, he had a staple. You know, he'd go, oh, that's a good song, but like I try to get him, we'd try to listen to the Pretenders. Well, Pretenders are great, but it didn't jive with him the same way the Beatles or the Butthole Surfers. You know, we did listen to live PCP a couple of times, and he kind of remembered that time frame. And then he's got that famous song with the Butthole Surfers that I'm trying to unearth again. I don't know, man.
Did you ever get into Locust Abortion Technician?
That's my favorite. That's probably
my hands-on favorite.
Yeah, that's another go-to. Like I'll listen to that. And Paul Leary is like my favorite guitar player in the whole world.
I was destroying a party the other night playing Locust Abortion Technician. People were playing their favorite songs from any genre, and I was just ruining the party.
But you know what? I don't discriminate. I think everything the Butthole Surfers has ever done is great. Yeah. I mean, even when they sold out. I mean, I love Pepper.
When they released Pepper.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a great song.
It's a great song.
Take up your ass if you can't take a joke. Come on.
When Jesus Built My Hot Rod came out, Dan and I were listening to that a lot. He was a little, he was like, oh, I don't know if they should be making fun of Jesus like that. But I was like, no, they're just saying that, Jesus, he was a carpenter and maybe he built hot rods, whatever. I don't know. It was funny. Dan kept his faith until the end, but he tried to keep a sense of humor about it.
Because you ever dabble in other religions?
No, never.
Never was like, oh, maybe I'll go down like a Buddhist hole.
Nope.
Because Buddhist
cool too. Nope. He was a Christian until the day he died, and I will tell you, he did not like confrontation, and he did not like to argue with people, and the people that disrespected his religion, he would be more likely to be quiet about it. But we kept the Bible with us on the road, and I'm not going to sit there and tell you we were Bible thumpers. We're not sitting there, whatever. And he did go through some phase.
It's a mythology, and Daniel's
about mythology,
and Daniel's about mythology, so it makes sense that he would resonate with that throughout his life.
My theory is most of his songs are either about love or God or girls. And I mean, his songs about God, like True Love Will Find You in the End.
I think you're just talking about John Lennon.
John Lennon was one of his biggest heroes. So, and I think John Lennon was married.
Love God and girls. There you go.
Who was John? John Lennon was married to a musician.
No. Oh.
John Lennon was married to a musician that did alternative things.
I really like there was a New York Times article really talking about Yoko.
I just gave away the answer to the damn question and nobody's listening to me.
Oh.
You guys suck. You guys suck.
All right.
I'm fired.
You have to go. You're so late.
Oh no, I already got covered. They already said they'd cover me for 10 minutes. But no, we can definitely wrap up.
Do you want to go or do you want us to toy tank?
Do you want to what?
It's time for us to toy tank.
Oh yeah, I gotta go.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we love you. We're gonna have you back for
Yes.
Done Trivia Nights.
Well, I don't know how this was received tonight.
Terribly. People
Well, I
fucking
don't know.
hate you. People hate you, bro. This is
I
bad.
just know
This was
that
bad. You just ruined your rep.
to say goodbye. I just want to say I'm honored to be here. I love what you guys do. Thank you, Ron, for connecting us. Thank you to all of Daniel's amazing fans all over the world. Thanks for the patience on the toy. It took a long time to get here. I just want you to know that we're doing our best to honor him, his legacy, everything that he was about. We're doing our absolute best. And if you don't think we're doing a good job, give me some help, man. Give me some advice here, because he was one of my best friends and I'm doing what I think he wanted, but I'm always open for suggestions. And man, I think we're just getting warmed up. I think Daniel will be a household name within 5 years in a good way. I think people need to know his story, his battles, his triumphs, his awesome songwriting, his amazing art. I mean, holy moly. I don't know. I just love people that can get around and get together and talk about somebody who just did great, cool stuff. So
You're doing an
All right.
amazing job,
Thanks,
Don.
Don.
Keep going with it.
We love you. We love working with you.
Yes.
yeah, I would love you guys back. Love Eric. Thanks.
Go
Don't
have fun.
miss out.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you,
Sounds good.
Don.
More to come,
Thank
everybody.
you.
More to come.
All right.
And we're gonna segue out with. Let's go into Toy Tank. Thanks.
Oh,
Don.
it's easy. Hello, it's easy.
Hello.
You're in the hotspot.
There you go.
Yeah.
No.
All
Put Tanaka.
Go,
Put Tanaka.
Tanaka. We're just gonna go straight into
Let's-
it. All right.
let's-
All right, yeah, cool. So we can do some toy
Go
tank.
straight in. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, let me get this
Hang
little
on,
graphic
yeah.
going. Fucking boom. It's the toy tank segment.
Do it.
Fucking let's get the song going. Sing it with me if you know it. Goes toy tank.
Tank.
Take me to the toy tank and show me those fucking toys. Nice. Yo. All right. So today we got a guy. His name is Pete Sketches, straight from Philly. Let's go Birds in the Super Bowl. And fucking this guy's got a cool toy. It's called the Crybaby. He's going to be showing it. I'm fucking way stoked about this. So we're going to bring him on right now. Fucking let's welcome Pete Sketches.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
How's it doing?
On in such a crazy intense episode, but
I feel like I've drank
I've-
12 cups of
I know, and I
Kool-Aid.
saw you posting on Instagram that you're excited. So thank you for sticking with us. It was a roller coaster of an episode, but thank you.
Yes, he needs a toy piano for the intro. We're gonna get that next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Awesome.
Good. That was amazing. Just listen, because I had never heard of Daniel Johnston before that, so that was
Oh well, that's
absolutely
awesome.
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you want to watch something, the Devil and Daniel Johnston is a really good documentary about him. As Don was saying, it's not like the perfect one, but it gives you a good window into him, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
Show us your toys.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do it.
So, well, there's some. There we go. All behind me, but
Yay.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
So-
awesome.
yeah, I actually sent you guys. I don't know if it got
We
like stolen
do.
off the
We
stoop.
have it.
We have
It's
it.
in the
Oh,
collection.
awesome.
Where is it? It's in the collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think I sent you. I did like a limited
I have
edition.
I have a marbled one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
That's
a
limited
brown and gold
10.
marble.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. That one. Oh, that one goes in the dark.
Yeah, and a red one. There was a
Yeah,
red one.
yeah. I sent you
Yeah.
a red one. Yeah, yeah.
But they're not in these cases. They're in the cases in the office.
It's
Sweet.
definitely around here.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
see it. Hold it up.
Yeah,
Tell us
yeah.
about the Crybaby.
So yeah. So I keep doing this.
I'm very familiar with this toy because I've held it quite a few times. I'm a big fan of the cock and balls.
Yo, yeah.
The big reveal.
Well, you know,
Sorry.
slow play it. And then, because I was excited to do the show today, I did like a one-off where
Oh, right.
Very
you
cool.
know, because I kind of do a lot of characters with like monster like bodies and then little sad boy faces inside them. So you know, instead of trying to like separate all the different stuff that I do, I was like, fuck it, I'll just put it all together in a
Perfect.
one.
So is this your sculpt, or are you just painting the sculpt, or
Oh, so
explain a little bit?
I drew it a few years ago, and my buddy Nick DeFabio and Cherry Moth Cake, Lindsay DeFabio, who are like friends with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah. He was like, you should like make a pin with that. So I made an enamel pin, and I made 100 of them, and they sold out in like 45 minutes. And I was like,
Nice.
what the fuck? So people seem to like it. So I've done little things. I've been obsessed with toys since like Kid Robot opened on Prince Street, you know, and so I've always wanted to make toys. I bought, like when, like, like, when when Toy 2R was just like the only blank toy, in like around, and so I was just always trying to make toys and trying to figure out how to do it. And then right before I did your like convention twice, and I was like, I gotta fucking do this. I need to figure it out. And so I drew up a turnaround, sent it to someone to sculpt for me.
Nice.
And then Paul at Mile High Sofubi made tools for me.
And he was born. So you've been a toy collector and around the toy industry for a long time then?
Oh yeah. I've got like a full run of Dunny season 1. And accidentally on my wife and I's first date, I bought Jeff Soto, like one of those big egg toys.
Yeah.
And then when we got married a few years later, I was in Vegas, and then he came out the Kid Robot Black line. And he did that. And I just I wasn't doing it like, oh, our first date, I got this one. We got married. I got home, I was like, oh shit, okay. Yeah. So I've been obsessed with toys for forever.
Oh, it's too far back. I have the egg one back there, the Jeff Soto one. I was going to pull it out, but I can't reach it.
But this is the first one I made. Like, I think it was the second time I did your con. I had little plastic ones that I tried to pull, and like you could kill someone. This thing is solid. It
looks good.
So is that a resin cast?
Yeah.
Did you cast it yourself?
Yeah, that I did, and that cost me a lot of money because I just like watching YouTube videos. Like shit, it was like 3 days before the con, and I was like, okay, I gotta get something.
Wow.
And,
that's the best way to learn, though.
Yeah.
That's how you got to learn, and I bet that thing is weighty, dude. You know?
Dude, it's like I would say it's a good 8 to 10 pounds. It's heavy.
We like to call them murder toys around here. We have a lot of those.
Especially when, like, if you're doing that stuff at home, like you keep pouring, don't you? And it's like, dude, like it's not filling up. Like the mold's not filling up, is it? Like, it's kind of different in your house, and it's just like, dude, this is taking a lot of resin. Right?
Yeah, like every time I thought I had mixed enough, it wasn't. So like I have even like half pours. I ran out halfway through it, and then I just kind of like glued it to a 3D printed base.
Waste not, want not.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So what was your inspiration for this toy? Was it a character that you'd drawn before, or you sat down to design something to
No,
make?
it's just a character I've drawn before. Like I was saying,
for the pin.
Yeah, for the pin, and actually I've got a sticker of like for the first.
Oh
yeah.
I wasn't planning on making that a toy because I had actually 3D printed another toy that I got. You can't really see the fucking light, but
the lights.
There we go. I mean, so that's one of the finished paint ones that I did, but
that's super creepy. So wait, did you sculpt that?
It's cute.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Can I see the face on it? It's really creepy.
Yeah, I call it Squeak.
A little bit closer to the camera so we can see it.
Yeah, let me turn off this fucking light. Sorry.
Turn off the fucking light.
God damn it.
Oh boy. It's even
not any better.
That didn't even help.
No.
Didn't help at all.
Oh no, we can see that guy.
There you go. Awesome. Look
He's
at him.
super creepy. I have to say, I love how creepy this dude is.
It's creepy.
It reminds me. So is he a Krampus?
Well, kind of, but like you can kind of see like so he's got this little like cute little. This one's happy because he's murdering, but most of the.
I feel
most of the faces in like the little monster bodies that I put them in are like sad, I guess. And then my wife was like, "That's you, like I'm a large man covered in tattoos. People I used to have a beard like CZ. Like people used to avoid me. But then when I start talking, I'm just
Yes.
And then you got a friendly makeover.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're down and
Oh,
my wife made me, shower, those kind of things.
Yeah, yeah. No trout almondine in your pockets.
Yeah. That story
really
was amazing.
scared me forever.
Yeah.
So where do you live?
Right now, I just moved right outside of Philly. I just moved like a few months ago.
How's Philly doing?
It's awesome. I like this city just lights up with sports. Like I'm not a sports person, but like it's infectious. You can't be like
Agnostic.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, with it because
you're with it or you're not.
Yeah, exactly. Like when they won the Super Bowl a few years ago, like my 80-year-old neighbor kicked open her front door, was like, "Oh, birds!" And I was like, "This place fucking rules."
Yeah,
So funny.
That's really
totally. I had a brief stint at Martian Toys, and I was just working one day, and the Eagles played a game. I didn't fucking know, but like I guess the Eagles played that day, and this fucking guy just walking down the street, fucking opened up the door. He's like, "Yo, birds won! Birds won!" He closed the door and walked away. I'm like, "Yo, who the fuck is this guy?" Like, fucking,
Who are the birds? What did they win?
That animates Philly.
Yeah.
yeah. Yo, can we see one of this header card pieces behind you? The crybaby right there. That looks fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all,
Can people buy that from your website right now?
Yeah, so I don't think I've got the painted ones up on my website, PeteSketches.com. But I've got the, like, I might have them up there, but I've got the marble.
No, that's
good.
That's really cool.
Yeah, marble ones up there. And then I've got a few of just like the blank teal, which is, the base color that I use
right
for mine.
Cool, man.
Oh yeah.
They look great.
So typically with the toy tank, we have like the guest who is a featured guest come on and give any advice or anything. But like, I mean, we got CZ. CZ, do you have any advice for Pete or anything?
You're the resident expert.
I don't really know, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't really know where you're at. Like, but like looking at your stuff, it's really good. It's clean. The design's good. The silhouette's going to be great of it, and I like the big eyes. Just really good. The bit of advice that I would give is like any money you make, like put a percentage back into the business and fucking grow it up. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's really, really important. And that's it, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that it's got that big space where the eyeball is, because that gives you so much flexibility to change the character.
Yeah, it's cool.
So many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I got these from Paul right as COVID hit. So like I was planning on doing your con and being like, here's my release. And then
shit went sideways, as we said.
Mm.
Well,
But now
things
you're
are on
around
your
the corner.
track now,
Yeah,
so
now you're
things
just-
are good, and you can do 5 points and sell them all, and it'd be great.
Yeah, we're gonna see this year. You gonna be at 5 points this year?
I want to get there. Yeah. I know that again, like my buddy Nick and, Cherry Moth Cake, they always do it. So, I always try to hitch a ride with them.
Nice. And you were in the Scully show as well, right?
I wasn't there, but I had a piece in it. in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. That's great. Yeah. What a cool piece.
Yep.
Well, for everyone watching, 5 points this year is June 10th and 11th.
And tickets are going to go on sale like early next week.
Totally.
So, there you go. I just signed up for a new ticket platform service. So
and we're going to have lots of really good beer.
oh yeah, we are
Like
going to have
our beer game this year is going to be strong.
easy. You're going to be
I might fucking get one. I didn't even get one of mine last year. It was like fucking.
No, well, we never do, because by
I
the
got a
time we
warm
put
one
the
on
KCB
Friday
out,
night.
it's cold.
Like, it was warm as fuck on Friday night. I was like, dude.
Yeah, it was. Well, we got to figure shit out, but
I
we're
gotta
very.
fix shit out. I gotta figure shit out, so
It's not just that. Like this is how we do. It's DIY, like Daniel Johnston taught us.
Exactly.
we have to just make sure that we keep some in the office, because what happens with the KCBs is it's always the artist labels. So they go on sale and the VIPs run and buy them all. And then we were like, hang on a second, did anybody save any?
Someone actually brought us.
And everyone's like, no.
We actually just got a full set the other day. Someone brought it to
Yeah.
us. It was very nice. Someone saved it for us.
So we have stickers, but no beer.
Yeah.
So
But Pete, man, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Yeah, really appreciate
So
it.
glad to
Thanks for
actually
sending them to
connect a
us.
face to the toy because I have held your
You got
toy.
the toy. Yeah.
Yeah, and we
And-
talked about it a lot. We've looked at it and we've inspected
played
it,
with
we've
it,
discussed it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
it was. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
That's
So,
awesome.
it's a pleasure. Pleasure, man.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. It was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
thank you.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that was great. I'm still
Looking
here.
forward to. Don't go anywhere. Looking forward to meeting you in person at 5 Points.
Yeah. Same.
You've met him before.
Huh?
You've met him before.
In person?
You've been at all the
I don't remember shit.
Dude, I have a memory of like a wet fart, so I don't
That's
blame
good.
plus-
We're all the same.
And,
Hooray.
and plus, you hadn't had your friendly makeover yet, so I was like, "Who's this scary
That's
dude?"
you.
Right?
You only remembered my name for the first time yesterday, so
Yeah, I was like,
That's true.
"Who's
Like,
this guy, Alex?" In the
Shows
sweatpants.
up here.
Yeah.
And it's like at a con, it's like, yeah, you got a hat, you got a black t-shirt, and you got a beard. Like, yo,
Oh, I know.
I'm not gonna fucking remember you. Like,
No.
Yeah, there's 30 of you.
that's
within
why you gotta
30 of
get
my
longer.
And you meet so many people too. And then the people that get mad and like, I met you. And,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, sorry.
Plus, last year was like just a brutal sauna.
Oh.
That's what it was.
Yeah, so it was like just brain
Carl missed the
melting.
song.
should we sing it for
Oh,
Kyle?
you want to sing it again? You have to be here for that
No, we're
moment.
gonna get a piano
Yeah.
next time.
It
So
would
Oh,
be
yeah.
good to have a toy piano
yeah,
Totally.
inspired by
yeah.
Don.
So next week we have another amazing guest,
We
right?
do.
Who do we have next week?
Ron England.
Yeah, we're gonna finally do the episode with Ron. We wanted to wait until we were like,
Yeah, we wanted to
running
like
enough.
smooth out the kinks of like
Yeah.
feeling
How we
comfortable
run this
podcasting. And it's like cool.
So yeah, so
I
next
keep
week will
calling
be
it a
Ron.
podcast, and people are like, "So is
Where
there a
can I
video?"
listen to it?
They're like, "Is there a video?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a video cast. I don't know what to call it."
So
And the
you're
other
live.
thing that we do forget to do every single time is ask people
Say
to
subscribe.
subscribe and like.
No,
and
and
do
by
it.
the
Yeah,
way,
I made a banner for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Subscribe to the channel, like,
Right there.
subscribe.
Subscribe, please.
YouTube likes that stuff.
It's
Like,
It's the
your
only thing that
it's
gets
your
us moving.
button.
Oh, if I can
pushing
self-subscribe
that makes the
right now,
channel
if I can
possible.
pick it up.
Yes,
That's
please
so funny.
press the buttons.
Yeah, push
Man.
the
Yeah,
button.
I can't believe I said this shit right.
Yeah,
Subscribing is the most important.
Yeah,
subscribe, please.
Subscribe.
Please.
unless you subscribe, but subscribe. So
Subscribe.
yeah, totally, exactly. If I gotta check my spelling next time if I make a banner. So
Wow,
sorry.
we're
Subscribe.
rambling.
Also, if you're watching it and you like it, then share the link on Facebook.
Yeah.
Share the link, like.
Right, so
Hey,
you tell
like-
your friends.
If
Yeah.
you liked it, like share that shit on Facebook, and then people will get the link, and then like other people will see it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And come back and next week and every week and just join in the chat because it's really fun to chat with people live. It's the best part.
Totally.
Yes.
And we'll do more giveaways because they're fun too. We're going to do a toy trivia night. But
I
that's
think
going to take a while to come up with questions.
You think so?
Like
We
real
should
deep
just all
toy
come-
Trivia. I think
We should just
could do
all
that.
come like with random trivia. We just make it up on the spot.
Random trivia or toy trivia though,
Both.
like a mixture.
It's got to be toy trivia, but we could throw in some other fun stuff because, like, maybe you went down like a rabbit hole on YouTube watching UFO videos. You might want to ask, like,
All right, but we're going to put together a trivia
yeah.
episode. So
Maybe we can do it as like the hangout / trivia night.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Awesome. Would love
All
it.
right. Well, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram at Clutter Magazine. Find Pete Sketches. Buy his toys at PeteSketches.com. CZ13 Art. Maya Tanaka. What are you going to promote?
I want to say thank you, Ron English, for making it all
Yes.
happen. We just wanted to give you so much love tonight for connecting us with Don. Thank you, Don, for all your love and support.
Thank you for everyone that picked up this toy. It's really awesome. We can't wait to make more. You can put other toys in the base for fun.
Cool.
And shout out to the original sculptor, who we still haven't figured out because Andrew Bell hasn't texted
No,
me
that's
back.
not true. We know this.
Jeffrey Newman.
We know Jeffrey Newman.
Are you sure though?
Yes.
Because nobody seems like they know exactly that's the answer.
That's what it says on the box.
We will see. Stay tuned to find out.
All right.
Be
All right.
good, keep collecting toys, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.